Hey, what's good, family? This is Radical Soul Love here again with the second episode of the Radical Soul podcast. So, let me talk to you all about not accepting crumbs and the bare minimum. And that means in every aspect of our lives. When we talk about self-care and self-love, that also means having standards and not accepting certain things in life. And I'm going to give you an example. Today, I was at a meeting for work that was kind of work related. And it's supposed to be a group of us, quote unquote, BIPOC folks, particularly Black folks, who come together to talk about certain issues that we endure in the workplace and other places. This is supposed to be a safe space, right? So we're supposed to be open about our feelings, talk about things that we are dealing with at work, and that when it comes to microaggressions, racism, all this crazy stuff that we tend to deal with as folks of color, particularly as Black folks, right? So we're all kind of venting and talking about some of the things that we're dealing with and what's impacting us. And as Black folks, many times we don't have the space. I go to therapy, so I'm honest about that. But there's a lot of us that don't go to therapy, so we don't have necessarily safe spaces that will be able to really nurture us and allow us to be seen when we're going through things, especially in the workplace, right? So we're venting, and then at the end, one brother in particular, and I'm not trying to, he, sometimes we got to watch what we do as folks of, particularly folks of color and specifically Black folks, of how we poo-poo on other people unintentionally or sometimes intentionally. So we're all venting and talking about some of the things that we're dealing with and we're impacted by, right? And then we're almost at the end of the close of the meeting. And, we're talking about solutions, of course, to some of the issues that we're dealing with. At the end of the meeting, this particular person says, basically, we should just be happy because he's seen poverty and other aspects of life that are, in his eyes, are way worse than what we're going through. And he was saying that because we are in positions of authority or leaders in our community, that we should just be thankful for what we have and not complain about the issues that tend to come to go on in our workplaces, simply because he's seen poverty, he's seen worse. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. I am so tired of us always thinking that we are supposed to accept the bare minimum and we just should be thankful that we're in the room. No. Again, this goes back to what I've been saying for the longest. I'm not accepting crumbs. I'm not accepting crumbs in the workplace. I'm not accepting crumbs in my relationships. I'm not accepting crumbs in my friendships. I'm not accepting crumbs. Why do we, as Black people in particular, and as women, are sometimes told that we should just accept the bare minimum? We should just be thankful we're in a room. We should just be thankful that we're there. No, we're there to create change. We're there to make an impact. We're there to be able to rattle the fences and bring awareness to what's going on in our communities. We're there in positions of leadership so we can reach back and pull others and make it even easier for the next set of generation of folks who are going to come behind us. I'm not there just to be there. I don't have to be thankful for the crumbs that some of these systems give us as women and as Black women in particular. I'm not just going to be thankful that I'm in the room. No, I'm going to call out systems of injustice. I'm going to call out systems that are in place to tokenize us, because just because we're in a room does not mean that we're necessarily making an impact. The purpose of us even being in the room is to make an impact. So you're not going to tell me that I need to just be thankful that white folks just let me in the room. You're not going to tell me that I need to be thankful just because they're giving me a little paycheck. You're not going to tell me to be thankful just for the little bit of positioning that I may have in life. No, my purpose of being at the table is to also shake up the system. It is to make an impact there and to help those who are on the margins themselves. I am there to help other young Black women become, get into positions of power. I'm there to mentor other Black women. I'm not just there to be thankful just for being in the room. I'm there to make an impact. And sometimes I personally just get really, really frustrated because there are folks that just don't want better. They want overall to accept the bare minimum and to accept crumbs as well. And they want you to accept the same thing. And if you are not willing to accept the bare minimum and accept crumbs, then they'll try to shame you for it. Oh, you should just be thankful. No, that's not how it works. I'm not going to just be thankful because I'm in the room. At the end of the day, we are called to make change. We are called to do what is right in the society, and we need to do right amongst each other. And so overall, I ask that you all stop going into these rooms as folks of color, as Black people, accepting the bare minimum. Stop walking into these rooms as people, as women, even especially women. I will definitely say women don't, as Black women, sometimes, not even sometimes, I'm going to just be honest with you. A lot of times we're facing both misogyny and we're facing racism. So you're not going to tell me that my job is to just be happy I'm there. Not going to happen. I'm going to create change. I'm going to make change in the best way that I possibly can. And I'm going to address the issues that are there. The microaggressions, I'm not about to accept that. The systems that are set in place to keep us in our place, I'm not about to accept that. I'm not about to accept the bare minimum in my household. I'm not about to accept the bare minimum in my life overall. And I'm going to say this, particularly to my brothers, because this channel is mainly for women. And it centers women, especially Black women, in our self-care and centering ourselves. But I'm going to say this to the male species. Stop asking women, especially Black women, to accept the bare minimum in the workplace, because that's not what I'm there for. I'm there to make life better for the next generation. I'm there to impart my wisdom and my talents and make it better for the next Black woman that's going to be in leadership. So I ask you all again, stop accepting crumbs. Don't allow anybody to guilt you into accepting crumbs. And brothers, stop asking Black women to accept the bare minimum, because it's not going to happen. That's my rant for today. I just wanted to get that off real quick, and just continue to tune in to the Radical Soul channel, Radical Soul Love channel, where we will discuss self-care and self-love for women, especially for Black women. We will use pop culture references. Go check my first video out. You will be able to see some of the things that we'll talk about, whether it's pop culture and how does pop culture and self-love intertwine, because we have plenty of content from pop culture that these celebrities who there's plenty of lessons to be learned by some of the things that they do. So continue to follow me, like, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.